by God do the job, and it will. And there's some new videos on our website that you can watch under the resource area, under videos, and see a little bit about the immune system. They're pretty neat to watch. This is just a blown up picture done by an artist of the mucous membrane of the villi on the inside of the digestive tract. And number 1 says these are the mucus producing cells that are actually shown become damaged from different chemicals in food and antibiotics and such. Number 2, pointing here, is the actual layer that's the mucus producing layer. We actually produce 3 to 4 pounds of mucus a day, and those globulin proteins actually help carry out waste. It's part of your immune system. So when people go, oh, it's a really bad thing that I've got mucus, well, let it run its course. Feed the immune system to clear the mucous membranes, but don't take a drug to stop it from doing that, because I used to do that and I had all kinds of problems. We use a euphrasia. I can suck on a euphrasia tablet and it will allow you. One lady said, she actually was at our immune teaching last fall, and she said, I brought it home, I gave it to my husband, he sucked on it, his head just went and drained, and mucus ran for about 15 to 30 minutes. She said, and then it dried up and he stopped and he doesn't have a problem anymore. But he takes the euphrasia on a regular basis, and it's a blend. The beneficial gut flora becomes overwhelmed, and so the lining of the gut flora then is damaged and broken down by some of the bad molecules. And then what happens in a leaky gut is the large molecules of food, bacteria, viruses, yeast, invading organisms come into the bloodstream. So our first line of defense has been broken down, and then it invades, and then our immune system in the blood then becomes overwhelmed. We get inflammatory conditions, headaches, muscle aches, joint pain, chronic fatigue syndrome, all associated with this type of reaction. Drug therapies worsen the problem. I used to be into all of those anti-inflammatory drugs, and the issue just continued. This is an article on the permeability of the gut that was caused in eczema-related disorders and food allergy. And no, it exists. This was what I was diagnosed with. Who can say that? Anybody want to offer to say that? Ankylosing spondylitis. Arthritis in the spine. It's an rheumatoid type of arthritis is what it is, and they found that link between the permeability of the gut and the inflammation within the joints. What? How does that relate? It does. Trust me. I've been there and done that. If you give me a bad food and I know it's inflammatory for me, I'll feel it in my joints and my back stiffens up within 30 minutes. It's that quick to respond. Been there 1,000 times. So there's certain foods I just know because I know how I feel. When you're feeling really good and you eat the wrong thing, you'll know. We have food reintroduction tests that you can actually take advantage of when you do a real clean diet, a detox diet, and then start reintroducing foods to see how your body's reacting. We can share that with you if you like. Even with aging, they notice there's more absorption of these large molecules, a leaky gut problem. Is it just the aging? Or maybe we're just not healthy with aging, and maybe we're taking too many medications with aging, and maybe we get comfortable with junk food when we're aging, right? We're not committed to cooking healthy food, which is mostly what we're describing in America. So those are the most significant factors to leaky gut, causing inflammation, causing immune responses. People can have an allergy. You can drink a glass of milk and not sneeze, not get a headache, not get a runny nose, but the next morning you wake up and you got muscle aches, joint aches, your blood sugar spikes. So reading the body or listening to the body with allergies is difficult, understanding that. Louis Pasteur said that the microbe is nothing, the internal milieu, our internal immune system is everything, on his deathbed declaring that the bacteria and microbes are not the enemy, it is the health of our immune system that determines whether we're going to stay well or not. And Scripture says in 1 John 4:4 that ye are of God, my little children, and have overcome the evil one, because greater is he that's in you than he that's in the world. God made us to overcome whatever is sent our way. We just have to learn how to maintain it naturally. We're going to talk about the 3 R's to take care of the gut, right? First of all, removing the negatives, restoring and repairing. Let's get into it. We want to remove what? Irritants like foods, toxins. environmental pollutants, heavy metals, bacteria, viruses, funguses. Then we want to replace digestive enzymes, secretory juices, friendly flora, and then repair the mucosa. Yes, the gut that gets damaged, those cell junctions that get damaged and the stuff leaks through can actually be repaired. Just like you bite your tongue or the inside of your mouth and you've got a sore there, right? 2 or 3 days, wow, that's gone. That heals fast. Notice that? You ever get a bite the inside of your mouth? Pretty amazing how the gut mucosa can heal itself quickly, but we're not giving it what it needs to repair, and so we have what Dr. Jaffe calls repair deficit. What are we deficit in? What do we need to enhance to get repair? Removing the antigenic things, the gluten products we mentioned, dairy products, these are the top 2 allergens that are known. And then we have a detox diet that you may want to follow along with that, but there are other food allergens listed here to mention. Alcohol, excessive alcohol consumption can cause to irritate the digestive tract. Pathogens, they're everywhere. There's yeast that grows in our gut, bacteria and viruses. And then, of course, anti-inflammatory drugs, non-steroidal, whatever, we mentioned those in their gut damage that they cause. So here they are trying to break down inflammation, and the drug is causing a further worse condition where there's more inflammation. And believe me, I don't need to see a study on that. I took so many anti-inflammatory drugs with arthritis that I had that I know how bad they work. I was watching the clock, because when my time of how long I could go before the next pill was up, it was there. I was taking it instantly because I was so inflamed. And the longer I went, the worse it got, the longer I took the medication. So it's kind of a catch-22 with the medication approach. Another of the 3 R's to replace. These are some very helpful things that replace. We have a formula called intestinal repair complex, which I'm going to give you a list of all the nutrients and supplements that are available 20% off today for those of you that are here. Did you mention, Jason, the other discounts?
Not yet.
Okay, at the end you'll get you to do it. Marshmallow root, slippery elm. We actually have some slippery elm in one of our lozenges, which I feel like I could use right about now. It assists mucoprotection, and they're best taken after meals and before bed. How many of you have ever taken glandulars? Take some liver glandular to strengthen your liver gland, adrenal glandular. Well, this has been around for ancient days, and it's really helpful. The thymus gland you can use. Thank you, sir. I take every gland I have in my body, I take something that supports that gland. It's a gland from another animal, just about every day. Got some hypothalamus, pituitary in the brain, thymus glandular extract, adrenal glandular, some spleen glandular, liver glandular, pancreatic glandular I take every day. Don't have any gallbladder glandular, but I do have some herbs that move it. But so, still alive, it's okay. I mean, they desiccate them, they purify them, and they're just like good quality meats at the market, except we're just eating flesh meat in America. And if you were a carnivore, your preference wouldn't be flesh meat, it would be to eat out the organs. You ever watch those shows? I love watching the African shows where they show the lion attack an animal. And they don't just start nibbling on the legs, and eating the flesh meat. They go right to the belly and eat out all the organs first. They know good nutrition when they see it, right? We need to think the same way, but we don't in America because we were raised on food that's sold to us in the marketplace.